Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another blind commentary. And today I'm reacting to more of Cinemare sins from LittleShy, this time with the start of Season 4. I'm doing his videos for the first 5 episodes, that's Princess Twilight Sparkle, Parts 1 and 2, Castlemania, Daring Don't, and Flight to the Finish. As for sins I've noticed in these episodes, well, can't say I've noticed much. Princess Twilight Sparkle, I think, definitely has pacing issues, especially in the second half, with Twilight being jerked in and out of the forest and all that. That never felt right to me, but yeah, that's about all I can think of for that one. Castlemania, yeah, I can't really think of much that episode does wrong. I really like that one. It's a funny episode. I mean, the characters act kind of stupid, but that's kind of the point. And I mean, it's kind of also a bit improbable, maybe, that, yeah, Fluttershy's whole reason for going into the forest feels a bit forced, maybe. It's a bit improbable, but that's a small thing, and I'm perfectly willing to ignore it. Because sometimes you do gotta force things a little bit, at least. Daring Don't? Well, there is the whole controversy over Daring Do and everything associated with Daring Do suddenly being real and stuff. And I know there are different opinions on that, but I don't know what really qualifies as a sin there. I mean, especially since that's kind of something that people are divided on, and at this point it's pretty much just something accepted, since, I mean, she's even shown up again and stuff. So not really sure there, and I really liked the episode personally, so I can't give it many sins. And then Flight to the Finish. Yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on that episode. I really like it. It's just a very heartfelt episode. And, I guess you gotta give Diamond Tiara some sins for just being such an ass in that one, but that's kind of the point of her character here. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of many problems in these 5 episodes, though he always finds stuff, and a lot of the times it's like animation errors and stuff that I wouldn't be looking for anyway. So, yeah, this should be fun. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Let's get started. Okay. And here we go. Everything wrong with Princess Twilight Sparkle number 1. 3 minutes. Spoilers. Duh.
That's just it. I can't tell.
Twilight struggles to get off the
ground, yeah, this.
Despite having flown.
That's something a lot of people pointed out.
Looking good up there, Princess Twilight.
Element of honesty, everyone.
Oh, yeah, nice point.
She actually prefers Twilight Princess's friendship Alicorn Sparkle.
And who wouldn't want to be called
that?
that?
Fit on her library card.
That's a shame.
The theme actually kind of grows on you after a while.
Yeah?
The real recurring sin should be these confounded wings. Megan McCarthy's credit is offset.
I'm impressed that he noticed that.
The mayor is desperate for Main 6 assistants because, as we all know, the rest of Ponyville are bumbling idiots.
Pretty much.
Applejack touches at Princess.
Don't touch it.
But it's something much bigger that'll always keep us connected.
At least until the end of this two-parter, at which point we'll never see the elements again.
Nope, never.
It'll be like you're in Ponyville with us.
Show encourages impossible promises. Ominous shadow implies ghost is present. Abrupt end of train tracks. And rails layered under time.
Lots of animation errors.
From Ponyville, I presume? It's not important.
Twilight doesn't think Ponyville is important.
Don't think that's what she meant.
Debris layered under Vine. Lone Vine makes its way underground from Ponyville to Canterlot, grabs Celestia, and pulls her back through the tiny hole it formed. Parallax shift of the moon
that's a
suggests
bit
that
improbable.
It's no more than a few hundred feet from the ground. Remove all instances of Princess, and this episode would be half the length.
Princess Luna, Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, Princess Twilight.
Twilight takes charge by telling the guards to keep doing whatever they already were. She simply uses a lot more words than necessary. This owl's feathers. These purple stars are also visible during the day.
You ever-free clouds, you should just head on back to where you belong.
Cloud racism. This is an incredibly glitchy shot between the sliced-in-half tree, jumpy ground detail, and dancing Diglett. Rarity couldn't care less about the events of an apocalyptic nature. This pattern is copied straight from the nightmares of someone with OCD. Evil growling tapestries, best villain. Obligatory Wilhelm.
Us Earth ponies can't do anything to get rid of them.
Typical Earth pony, always playing the victim. Background lags behind camera motion. Layering error makes these clouds look tiny. Spike pulls this seatbelt from between his legs, which is only going to tighten around one leg. Spike is about to hit this window, then he diverts around the library to crash into this one. Rarity ceases to levitate this book, but the levitation field remains. Also, Rarity is using magic even though the vines had apparently disabled it.
Oh!
Vine clearly breaks through window, yet Applejack closes the window again.
Princess Celestia said that you were to give me a heads up before you summoned me with that little spell she gave you.
Coco Pommel, Princess Selena, Aurora Glimmer. Just a few names which Hasbro frowned upon for legal reasons. Yet somehow, blatant use of Shutterfly is okay. Luna holds a pose as if waiting for a live studio audience to quiet down.
There can only be one princess!
Sorry, Luna. Hasbro has toys to sell. To be continued.
Yeah, lots of toys.
Get it. I need to work on my flying.
Seatbelt's not included. And we get a stinger. Yeah.
Something much bigger that'll always keep us connected. Exhibit.
Nice.
I reckon before long.
Oh, multiple jokes.
Equestria.
Okay.
These infernal wings. Statue blows up moments before laser impact.
Nightmare Moon.
Not a bad name for coming up with it on the spot like that,
Where do you think you're going?
she said, to no one in particular. What does Nightmare do after seemingly defeating Celestia? She idly waits around overhead for a few minutes, of course.
No choice but to use these.
Good thing
Nice.
these just happened to be in the room that she crash landed in.
Yeah, that's
VHX
pretty
rips
convenient.
off green screen ponies. Improperly layered stars or house freckles. You decide.
We were really worried about you.
Which is why we're standing all the way over here. Alicorns are known to randomly explode after all. Discord
Are they now?
removed Celestia's tail, but in the same flashback later on, it returns. Cyclops Celestia. Delayed gas.
Oh.
Tree of Harmony. The Tree of Harmony?
The Tree of Harmony?
Like cutie mark.
It's a star, Twilight. Not everything has to be about your special snowflake of a
Well,
cutie
there-
mark.
Other little things around it that make it kind of look like her cutie mark.
A discovery by which means no one will ever know.
Something's happened to the Tree of Harmony.
Twilight has no reason to come to this conclusion. For all she knows, the tree was just as random of a hallucination as the other two,
I know we need to face it together.
she said, shortly before running off to exclude herself from facing it.
Yeah,
Because taking an extra
exactly.
minute to go around this tiny pond would put us through our commercial break.
The rest of us aren't princesses. What's that got to do with anything?
Because the rest of us are going to die someday anyway.
I think Twilight will die too.
Another princess.
Dang, Applejack. Already written off 2 princesses for dead. If she's that quick to jump to conclusions, maybe her parents are simply still in line at the DMV. The main 6 are on an adventure to return the elements to the tree. However, this adventure is too dangerous for the princess, which they send home. The princess carrying the most important element required for this adventure. Terrible plan or terrible planning. It's a sin either way.
It's, yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Harmony. It won't necessarily mean Princess Celestia and Princess Luna will return.
Hey, Rarity, pointing out contrived plot convenience is my job. This awkward silence during what could very well be their final goodbyes. Twilight casually going in, out, and back into the forest is the final nail in the coffin for Everfree's status of being a foreboding place one could easily
Yeah,
All
yeah.
hail Twicane.
Gotta love
Multiplying
Twicane.
tiara. Spike somehow manages to keep up with Twilight's galloping pace.
Spike is surprisingly fast.
Why not just have Dash fly the elements down in 10 seconds flat? Convenient
Yeah,
vantage point is convenient. Spike is helpful and Twilight is useless. The body switching episode you didn't know happened. Rarity lights up her horn in preparation for a battle, as if she knew the plants would forget they could control magic.
We're simply lost without
I
you.
guess they
She
did
said,
forget.
after rescuing a lost Twilight, this masking. Tree
Oh, that
obliterates
was
2
bad.
specific clumps of vine after obliterating Ponyville vines to provide this dramatic reveal. Just another reminder that these 2 were all the way in Canterlot when the Everfree Vines princess met
Yeah.
We know how difficult it must have been for you to give up the elements.
them. It would have been more difficult not to. Disappearing beard.
apples.
Lens flare. Twilight goes on dangerous adventure with friends. Twilight's friends say the danger is too considerable and send her home. Twilight changes her mind and leaves home. Twilight encounters danger that's too considerable for her. The day is saved by convenient storytelling, and Twilight's friends commend her bad decision-making.
Yeah, it's a pretty broken episode. He did a good job of pointing out why it is. That was... Yeah. Pretty cheap end joke, but it was funny. It's your duty. Ow.
But you have given me no choice but to use these.
What's this gonna be? Oh.
Are those?
I guess that would work?
We get it, you vape.
And Scooby-Doo music.
Book Horse
Perfect.
betrays book people everywhere by abusing book. Twilight struggles to find a book detailing an event that has probably never happened before.
I have
Yeah.
another option in mind.
In other words, keep your filthy Ponyville hooves out of my glorious castle. Books are still readable after more than a millennia of being exposed to the elements. These
Yeah.
blasted wings.
Of
Video
course.
editor falls asleep at desk.
Any minute now.
I didn't notice.
The show is no
I never noticed I
stranger
was
to
that
horse
long on
puns,
this
but
episode.
This title.
Yeah.
Tied.
Pinky's
Mania.
right. They actually end the staring contest on the same frame. Applejack confirmed
Impressive.
for Illuminati. We see and hear of star spiders many times, but in the end they're completely pointless and have nothing to do with anything.
That's
Genius
true.
satire of Chekhov's gun or bad writing. You decide. Background doesn't reach bottom of frame. Castle episode waits 5.5 minutes before showing us a castle.
I don't think I'll need all these candles, Twilight. I was really only scared for a second.
Oh, these aren't for you, Spike.
Aw.
We're gonna be
Aw.
studying late into the night, and we're gonna need all the light we can get.
Which is why we're wasting all of our candles at once. Recycled season
Yeah.
1 animation.
I don't believe in ghosts.
Nearly every other mythical creature may exist in Equestria.
No
but
ghosts.
Ghosts? Ha! Child's play. Dash is layered
Never
over
ghosts.
this wall.
Maybe this is the book Princess Celestia was talking about.
But Celestia, I thought you wanted me to read your private diary. Twilight deems this arbitrary information important.
Well, to be
because
fair,
it's relevant to an
Celestia
ongoing
might
plot
have wanted
she's
that.
unaware of.
Quit being such a scaredy dragon.
That's racist.
Did you find Angel?
Fluttershy somehow translates screaming into I found him. Dash is
Yeah.
terrible peripheral. Luna's throne had an ejection feature. It's no wonder she turned against her sister and tried to take over. Poor thing was probably tormented in this castle. Oddly specific.
the book
fresh
says she
carrot
had
trapdoor.
fun, though I don't
Applejack
know
is
how
deep
far we can trust
underground,
that.
Yet somehow appears on a top floor after this wall spins around. The first and last year Rarity attended Comic-Con with her Timberwolf cosplay.
No one likes sarcasm, Spike.
No one indeed. No pony can see the others running around, nor hear each other's resounding screams.
That's just an old pony's tale.
Because the last pony's tale was harmless enough.
Yeah.
Main 6 minus 1 are about to reveal a character. Wonder who it could be. These 6 casually walk down the hallway as if the organ were around the corner, although earlier it was on one of the lowest floors. Pinkie Pie's exposition
Okay.
delivery service. Wrapped up by the end of the episode or your money back. Hawks are overrated. Oddly specific baby dragon ejection pattern. Fluttershy's missing tail. This shot's terrible resolution.
Why don't we keep a journal, just like the Royal Pony Sisters?
But not like the Royal Squirrel Sisters. Their journal is
No.
nuts. Rarity
Wow.
enjoys sewing so much she could just do it forever. And ever. And ever. No pony mentioned a shadow pony recently. Spike segues about as forced as Hasbro's latest toy line. This is never explained.
Yeah. Ultimately, it was just a random joke.
Did you know I can totally play the organ? Because I didn't. So then, I decided to throw a finish ring in the school bell party. But I didn't have any Bluebell, and you can't throw a finish ring in the school bell party without Bluebells. So I went to every forest to pick some. It started to get so chilly, I directly
Oh, Pinkie Pie.
to the forest. And then I saw Fluttershy and Rarity.
But retro ancient classical will be all the rage next season, so it's nothing to sneeze at. Gesundheit.
Have I mentioned yet that I work alone? Have I mentioned yet that you're lucky I don't?
Seemingly innocent bird instruction opening implies parents of said bird are dead. These rotten wings.
Never thought about it that
Reading
way.
the last Daring Do book for the 12th time.
Applejack accidentally reveals the extent of her stalking escapades. Self-strapping party
Good point. It's interesting that she would know
Guess who's
that.
going to be hacking the unicorn
Oh,
dark web later
Dash
tonight?
could have also just
Some
told
pony
her.
went through a lot of effort to get this chair outside without breaking a window.
Yeah?
Typical Game of Thrones fan. Book is the size of a pony one moment, then normal the next. Worst password ever.
Yeah.
If you listen closely, you can hear the echoes of smashed head cannons to this day.
One's
Yeah.
the same. Ah, come on. I knew it all along.
Rainbow watches the hub promos. Aren't recolors wonderful? Dash could single-hoofedly grab the ring and fly out of these poor Earth ponies' reach, yet none of them do anything at all.
Yeah. That is something
pretty
pretty hard to ignore. They just
don't
don't jump in at all.
And
Wow.
Twilight and Dash pronounce names exactly how you would expect from two voice actors recording in separate countries on separate dates. See? Even Daring Do mistakes Dash for a stallion.
Looks like they decided to have an early dinner before making their way back down the hill to the marketplace in town.
Yep.
That trick you did in book 3, where you swoop in and knock 3 guys down with one
Mind
swing?
speaking up, Dash? I don't think they heard you. Daring can pull currency out of thin air, but can't do the same for a remotely decent fake beard. Daring is such a good sport for not teasing her enemies by hovering just above their heads. This episode is surprisingly violent. Punches actually connecting like this aren't often seen in a TVY cartoon.
That's true.
Obligatory Wilhelmsen. Most people would see this and think of a pony burrito. The show staff seem to think of something else, though.
Oh yeah. The
Not much,
reference to the
actually. Daring
later
was
episode.
simply outnumbered with an acute case of, oh, I can fly, memory loss.
Daring Do and the ring have been captured.
Only because you sat on your butt literally all night instead of flying after her.
It's fine to look up to Daring Do, but you've put her so high up on a pedestal, you can't even see your own worth anymore.
Horse fame in a nutshell. Due to a layering error, Fluttershy is super tiny and close to the camera lens. Lens flare.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Rainbow Dash. Evil characters doing evil things for evil reasons. Don't ask why. That's all the info you need. Lens flare. Applejack's broken belly. Angry
Oh.
pronking. This ring would not have fit on the column anyway.
If we can remove the giant
Good.
ring at the bottom,
Yeah.
the whole fortress will collapse.
How convenient. Daring explains that she had to get caught on purpose in order to get into the fortress, even though the main 6 had no trouble getting in at all. Another subtle Wilhelm. Daring destroys an ancient fortress, proving to all that she is the worst archaeologist ever. No pony
Yeah,
thought to do this inside
pretty
the
much.
fortress, or long ago for that matter. AK Yearling's illustrator could never find work after this obvious recolor.
Oh. Obvious recolor. It's more sugar. I wouldn't doubt it.
You might say the secret ingredient is Rainbow Dash.
Okay, Cupcakes reference. Oh, showing the violence again. Yeah, it is a surprisingly violent episode. Never really thought about that, but now that he mentions it, totally is.
What if my
And this one.
What if I never fly?
Aww.
Twist. Shirley loses her forelock highlight.
Twist is a sin.
Be me. Maybe it's me.
That's right, Random Philly, number 211. Follow your dreams.
Hey, it could happen.
No, not anymore. These accursed wings. Harshwinny is secretly made of jello.
Am I making myself
Good to know.
absolutely 100% crystal clear?
In Equestria, crystal is an offensive racial slur. Disappearing whistle. Straw floor layered above wall. Tongue color matches outline. Lens flare. Who lives here, and why haven't we heard their story yet?
Good question.
This floating scenery. Celestia moves the sun to aid with the Crusaders musical. Let's watch while hiding in a
It's
bush.
awful nice of
Because
Celestia.
surely our presence alone wouldn't negatively affect their performance in our favor.
Since the dawn of recorded time, in one town.
One town which was founded long after recorded time.
Yeah,
No pony is pulling these curtains back. Scootaloo's blue
a
lipstick.
good point.
Bullying a handicapped pony. Preemptive sin for when they're forgiven of this atrocity. Animator forgets to animate Scootaloo's wings. Silver Spoon has excellent hearing. This poor cloud needs a new barber. Scootaloo spends most of the day and all night trying to fly, but doesn't think to try alternative methods such as springboards or unicorn assistance.
I don't think that'd be quite the same to her.
Scootaloo almost forgot that mention of their alicorn overlords is prohibited. Left as in right. No pony cares that Scootaloo never makes it home. No pony meaning the orphanage, of course. Station is levitating inches above the platform.
We'll take a picture for you from the winner's circle.
Apparently, Diamond Tiara is going to the horse race. This poster depicts second place, lower than third. Scootaloo says she doesn't want to ruin their chances of winning, so she destroys their chances of winning by quitting.
Good point.
This very emotional scene confronting Scootaloo's handicap,
she thinks
Rainbow Dash
Sweetie
rubs
Belle
it in by needlessly hovering the entire time.
Yeah,
Flare.
I think it still
This
works,
is in
but
complete
she didn't need to
opposite
be doing that.
direction. Also, are we seriously expected to believe they traveled all the way to the Crystal Empire like this?
Good point.
Scootaloo's
That's
wing animation
a
freezes,
bit much to believe.
taking twice as long to get to your destination because you prefer the fun ride. Invasion of the wavy head antennae ponies. Sweetie Belle's nostril disappears. 12 bronies died during this scene as a result of the sudden gasp and resulting anger at this fake-out.
Yeah, that was quite the fake-out, though I didn't expect her to get it there.
Miss Dash. Am I making myself absolutely 100% crystal clear?
Wow. And so after, I guess, now the stingers before that screen, I guess, probably because of the change in end cards and all that, that YouTube did. At least that's what I'll guess. Well, yeah, that was pretty good. Lots of stuff that I had forgotten about just because Season 4 hasn't really been on my mind as much lately. Been more focused on Season 6 and haven't really thought about these episodes in quite some time. But yeah, this was good. Did a good job of showing some things that are indeed questionable. Maybe not always wrong in every case, but certainly things that have you scratching your head. And also, of course, pointing out just the tiny little animation errors and just smallest details that are just weird to have highlighted, which is something that he just does so well that I can't stop talking about it whenever I do one of these, just because it impresses me that he would even find this stuff. But yeah, this was a really funny set of videos. I definitely enjoyed them. Lots of fun. I especially did like his dissection of Princess Twilight Sparkle Episode 2, just because I think it did a really good job of pointing out how the episode really makes very little narrative sense just in how it unfolds, and some of the results of what they had happen there. But all these were good. All of them made some pretty good, fun little just points, just observations. And yeah, I think his Season 4 videos are off to a really good start, and I'm very much eager to watch more of them, so expect that soonish, whenever I get around to it, which probably won't be that long, maybe like within a month or two. I don't want to do these too fast, or else I'll just catch up to him, and then I won't have multiple videos to do at a time. And I think it works better this way, so I'm going to take my time with this series and just do a few every once in a while, and keep doing it that way. Anyway, yeah, hope you liked the commentary. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.